guys, I don't know if I did this last Saturday. If I did, please tell me, and please don't. I've supervised, but I still decided to do this. So please put your volume on full so that you can hear me. Now let's get started with chapter 2. Penny zipped up her jacket and walked into the cool room that was attached to the kitchen. The heating was on very low in here, and she felt cold, enveloped her straight away. But in her warm clothes, she didn't feel it too much in her body. It was only her face and hands that felt it. She looked around her newly comfort room. It was so much nicer and roomier to work in here than it was before. The room was large, with ice block making machines up. One end that made the material and block of ice, and there was a large space in the middle for her to work. The floor and walls were tiled to maintain the coolness of the room and for easy cleaning. She opened up one of the block machines. The water was insignificant slowly inside to keep the ice pure and clear. The water was partly frozen at the bottom. The perfect time to add some of the decorations her clients had asked for. This particular one wanted fairy lights enchanted with snowflakes. She placed the glittery snowflakes in our pattern in the middle of the pot and waved the fairy lights in between them. Weighting them down so they didn't float to the floor of the water and tapping the colourful lights to the side, it looked magical, and she knew it would even look more so once the piece was finished. The walking phaser was at the other end, and she opened the door. Several blocks stood along the back while waiting patiently. Let me just check out. Let me just check how many pages it takes to finish this chapter. Quite a lot. To be turned from large ice cubes into masterpieces. Along the side were about 10 sculptures that were finished and ready to go out. She'd been carving ice for about 10 years, and she never tired of seeing the finished pieces. Never failed to feel proud of turning black ice into something beautiful. She even enjoyed creating her most complete required piece, the swan, which almost every wedding party asked for. She grabbed one of the ice blocks, which was resting on a wheeled platform, and pulled it into the cool room. Closing the freezer door behind her, she snapped the brakes on the wheels and looked at her blank canvas. This one was going to be a Christmas tree. She had already stuck the temple on a few yards before. Now she was going to carve it. She pulled on her gloves, slid her safety gloves over her eyes, and picked up the die finger to trace the outlines of the temple. The thin drill bit on the end was the perfect tool to stretch out the design. She pressed very lightly because the main detail would come later. She could lose herself for hours in here, spending time perfectly each curve, swirl, feather of leaf or leaf. When she was in here, the only thing that filled her mind was carving, then skipping, showing, and creating something intricate and beautiful. That was why she loved it so much, because there was no time to think about the whole town of Whitcliffe. They seemed to be moving forward with their lives, while Penny's life had soon frozen in time. There was no time to focus on her loneliness, or the heartbreaking feeling that her loneliness was going to last a lifetime. She get lost in touch with hours and never have to think about these things. It was only when she stepped out the curtain of her room to wrap up, to warm up, that's the real world of being the thoughts. Having finished out the main of the lines of the temple, she picked up this chainsaw and started ripping up the big pieces she wouldn't need. She didn't think about Henry and his green eyes, and she didn't think about her loneliness had seemed to incredible since he had pushed the book's case and heard the connecting door. Henry hovered at Penny's back door, unsure whether to knock or not. As he raised his tap or not, Penny stepped out from some room of the kitchen. She was wearing black wave-forward trousers and a black jacket, which cut to her wonderful curves, making her look sick. Oh, what the hell? She looked like she was going to get on a motorbike and drive into the sunlight. She pulled on her boots and unzipped the jacket. He quickly looked away in case she was naked underneath. He tapped the very brief look back and relieved to see she was wearing a tiny vest and as the buttons came off, he could see she was wearing black leggings underneath too. She hung the clothes up in a closet, pulled on a huge oversized hoodie, then she body. He couldn't brown hair that cascaded curves down her corner, down hair that couldn't down her back. Earlier way pulled up a messy ponytail. Cute and messy and utterly double. Her green eyes looked sad, and he wondered whether he put that look there, or was she eyes, or whether she'd always carried it with her. So we're going to stop here, even though it's not chapter 3. He looked down at the light balls he was carrying and wondered whether it was too much. He didn't want to catch any more moments to the bedroom. Penny suddenly spotted him and he waved. She didn't wave back. The cherry person she presented earlier had vanished. The sparkle in the green eyes had gone. She visibly sighed and came to the door. Tiny flakes of the snow around them. Nothing on her eyelids and in her hair. There was something about her that he felt drowning. She was beautiful and there was no denying that. But there was so much more to it than that. When we had those, I wanted to apologize for my behaviour earlier. As million days ago, this had to be the worst. Even if I got it, everything that could go wrong did go wrong. I was grumpy and tired. I'm sorry. I was wondering whether that dress of them and my eyes was still open. Penny stared at him in confusion. She looked around as if an excuse was in itself. She didn't want him there, and he felt like an utter ass. He had a lot of making up to do, and she clearly didn't think of something important that she had to be. She nodded reluctantly and stepped back to let him in. He handed the roses and she took them. I see you moved the bookshelf, Penny said, trying and failing to provide schedule as if she didn't care. He had heard that too. I can move it back, and move it back. No, it's fine. It's your home. Do what you want. She shrugged. She shrugged. He hadn't thought about what Penny would think about him looking into it. Of course she would be upset by that. Listen, the place we lived, we not only locked all the doors and windows at night, but we locked the bedroom doors too. And I slept with a baseball bat under my bed. We moved here because it's a better area. It's better for Daisy. It's going to take a bit of getting used to that. Everyone is so friendly and helpful. I'm sorry if I upset you. I'll make it back tonight. Penny stared down at the flowers and softened. I put these in some water and make us some dinner. Penny breathed a sigh of relief. Would you like a glass of Mediterranean while you wait? She filled the vase with water and plucked the roses and hailed a drink. Yes, please. It smells wonderful, Henry said, sitting down at the large dinner table. He watched as she moved around the kitchen. There was something so tempting about her. He couldn't take his eyes off her. It felt like he's sitting with his wife or girlfriend, Bubba. The smell must be. I just sort out of the few. I just sort of threw some ingredients together. Penny lit the hob under the saucepan and gave it a stir. It's sort of a sanguine and mulled wine mix. Red wine, rum, blending, fruit, juice, fruit, some spices. Sounds a pungent. Penny laughed, and he liked that he could see the warmth and sparkle back in her eyes. Yeah, it might be. I haven't tried it. At least neither was a diving. A giant deep red shaggy blast into the kitchen that was warming an oven. Camilla. He had never seen anything so ridiculous looking in his entire life. I'll stop this. I'll stop, guys. I'm just gonna pause this like a couple of minutes, and I'll stop this video if it pauses by itself, or if it gets to Twitter. So let's continue. Wow, what breed is he? Penelope. I don't think he even knows. Half a shelter, half English sheepdog, half Newfoundland maybe. That's a lot of highs. I know. He thinks he's a tiny lap-sized dog too. Always counts on my lap for a cuddle and then squashes me to death. He must weigh 7 stone. Seriously, he could give pony rides to small children. He's like a mutant. Don't say that, you'll upset him. But yes, I know. The vet says he's never seen a dog so red before, and with his shaggy fur it does look like as if he walked off Lemon Street. Henry, meet Bedford. Bedford, this is Henry, and your neighbour. Bedford came and sniffed him with a rage. Clearly, Henry met with Ezra's approval as he sat on Henry's seat, demanding to be stroked. Henry stroked his head and moved his chest. He looked up to see Penny smile at him, and then she quickly looked away. He watched as she poured two large glasses of mulled wine, Colin, and brought them to the table. She passed Henry his glass. Should we make a toast? She asked. How about to new beginnings? She stared at him and then smiled, clinging her glass against him. His grey eyes were so intense, like he was studying her, searching and answered to seem unanswered the question. He took a sip without taking his eyes off her, and she noticed straight away that he didn't have a wedding ring. Oh. Thank you for decorating next door, by the way. Daisy would love it. My pleasure. I didn't get your tree. you and Daisy would want to get together. She's like that. Thank you. Henry smiled and Penny felt her heart leap. He'd never been the sort of girl to fall in love with Sorrel before, but there was something about his smile that filled his whole face. He was married, and she had to remember that. She focused her attention on Bedford for a moment so she wouldn't have to look at the smile. So, what brings you to White Cliff Bay? Penny asked, taking a sip of wine. Work mainly. I had the job at the White Cliff Bay Furniture Company starting after Christmas. I was wondering, as a carpenter? He nodded. At least it's been a lot of a wedding. He worked with tools like she did. A man really could cause injury. Wow, they are so delicate about who to take on. Penny said, I heard they have like 500 applicants every time they exam. Isn't there some crazy interview process? Yes, it kind of felt like the generation game of all those tasks we did. We were shown how to do a problem and then replicate it with innocent hammered cassette and care. It was a whole day with the word skills, the in the morning, and a panel of some interviews grilled me for over 2 hours in the afternoon. I came out feeling like I had run a marathon. They only take on the very best, so you clearly did something to impress them. It will be a huge feather in your cap if you decide to move on. Everyone knows how that the company is. And I took a big whiff of wine. We don't intend to move on. I hope to stay in White Cliff Bay for some time. The way that he said that straight at her, sending shivers down her spine. Was he flirting with her? She shook the silly thought out of her head, taking a big gulp of wine. It was spicy and fruity, and as Harry said, very potent. She tried to tear waters away from Anthony, but she quickly turned away from the table to distress him. Have you always been a carpenter? Yes, I love it. There's something wonderful and creative about something with your own hands. I've made and sold my own furniture, but I've also made wooden jewelry and statues too. That's more of a hobby, though, but it's something I like to do and spend time. I know I asked the HOD about this, but they said they would be happy for me to use the shed as a sort of workshop. Penny nodded. Yes, it's huge, and I only use a small part of it. Feel free. I would love to see some of your jewelry and statues. My job is quite similar. What is it you do, Penny? I'm an educator. Oh, that's cool. And do you get some time to work on that line of business? She placed a plate of lasagna in front of him and sat down to eat hers. Oh. Do I get paid enough for this place, you mean? Whatever, I don't know. I'm inside widened slightly. Sorry, that came out as very nosy, didn't it? Don't know me. I hate it when people ask me about my work and my money. It's actually none of my business. The house belonged to my parents. I grew up here, but they intended to Italy several years ago and left the house to me and my brother. He lives in the next town, and I bought him out of his house. Is half of the time. but only essence of a miles, and there are weddings every weekend. My sisters won't trim parties and have to trim many jobs because I don't have enough time to do them. It pays very well. Emily looked surprised, but she'd gotten used to those winter by now. No one took her job very seriously, and certainly didn't believe that she could support herself on it. Is that amazing? Penny stirred a piece of pasta with a fork. Why did people assume that she needed a man to keep her happy? She was really feeling at home. I'm assuming by the way you are murdering that piece of instant, but I've studied nerd. My apologies. Penny smiled as she looked at the mustard piece of lasagna. I only asked because that hoodie that looks way too big to belong to you, Henry said. I just like big jumpers or hoodies. They're comfortable. There isn't a Mr. than her husband. Everyone in town said I should be married with babies by now. So it gets a big win. I've had my heart broken in the past, and I guess I'm really falling in love again. She stared at dinner in horror. Why did she feel the need to do him? She barely knew the man. How much wine had she drunk until his tongue that much? It wasn't even true. We'll stop here, guys. So remind me that it's even true. And I'll see you all guys next Saturday or the Saturday after. I like to do it once every 2 Saturdays, so because some Saturdays I might be busy, because remember I also have dancing on Saturdays, so I haven't even done any easy shots yet, and my phone's on what? 59%. But I guess I'll show you my tellies before I say bye. So this one I made when I was with my cousin Morgan. This is not just an elf to me, it's one of my family members, not family members, but like an uncle that died, so who was important to me, so thank God to this one at 7% of my Nana Audrey, and this one is just Nemo. Bye guys!